Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another Wednesday edition of our virtual live broadcast here, where we're talking with Donna Dow about the 2020 Denison Music on Main Free Summer Concert Series. It's hard to believe we're already into week 4, and so, I mean, Donna, you've been posting a lot of the videos. I was on vacation last week, so I wasn't on the show, but I tuned in to Denison Live just to watch some of the video and stuff from last week's show, and looks like the crowds get bigger and bigger every week. How are we doing so far?
Yeah, we're doing well. The only week that was really a bummer was the week that it rained. And so we still had a good crowd that joined us in Ivanhoe. But we're probably a little less than we would be otherwise. But people are enjoying the shows. They're socially distancing. And it's just been an extremely relaxed atmosphere.
Now, one of the things we want to do, we want to encourage everyone out there that's watching to engage with us, be a part of this. In fact, you can post questions and comments on the Katy Country, the KLAK, or the Mad Rock Facebook pages, and then we can bring those comments up on the screen here, like I'm going to do right now for Melanie. So she says, "Hey guys, I'm ready for Steelwoods." Absolutely.
You know, I'm thinking that it would just kind of challenge you guys a little bit if y'all had to do a lot of that. So I think everybody should just really hit it hard on the social media.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, if that happens, here's what's going to happen. I'll tell you ahead of time what's going to happen. If that starts happening, I'm over here on the comments. Alan's going to take over the talking here. But all of us here from Mad Rock and KLAK and Katy Country, we're sort of taking turns. You know, we've had Zach and myself on, and we've had just Zach and just me, and we have Alan on this time. Next week it'll be Alan by himself, and at some point we'll get Killian from the Rock Show on Mad Rock. So we're all these different weeks of music on Main. That way we can talk about it. Like Alan has no idea what anything is about the new music on Main location. He has no idea about Music Alley Happy Hour. So you've got a brand new person to tell us all about that, Donna. So let's start with the new location.
Okay. We have moved 2 blocks south to Forest Park. And that is working out really well because there's a lot of beautiful trees in the park and they shade us. And so it's just a bonus. We have 6 acres there where we had 1 acre at Heritage Park. So it also gives us a lot of room to spread out and still be able to see the show well. It also gives people who want to drive up an opportunity to drive up and watch. That drive up area is over on Fannin. And so it's on the west side of the park. And we really have people enjoying that. And so, you know, sometimes they'll get their chairs and put them in front of their cars or, you know, just sit out on the car, whatever. It's just really giving people a lot of different options to be able to watch it. And then, as you mentioned, Dave, we have been broadcasting. Now, our broadcasts are not like perfect yet because we've been spread so thin trying to get the shows ready in the different environment and just all the different things going on that we haven't got exactly like we wanted it on the broadcast, like, you know, the announcements, and then that just carries into the opener and that carries into the show. But if you want to watch Denison live on Facebook, then you should be able to get us live on Friday nights.
Well, you know, there's something unique and special about a live video feed like this. Like, this isn't pre-recorded that we're doing. We are literally broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. So we're going to make mistakes. We're going to screw up, but you know, that's human to do that. When you have something that's so polished that it doesn't sound like anybody's taking a breath and everything, and you got all these swooshes and sweeps and things coming on. I mean, it's kind of hard to, it's like that's produced. This is live. This is authentic. This is organic. So I think it makes for a better thing. So if you screw up an announcement, hey, that's just real life. We all do that, right?
Well, we are real, that's for sure.
So
Alan, no?
Right? Yeah. No, Alan's perfect. His shows are always perfect. He doesn't have that problem when he's live.
I'm pre-recorded. No. Hey, Don, I got a quick question for you. So how's the parking around there? When people show up, is there plenty of parking and all that kind of fun stuff? Is it easy to get in and get out?
Well, you know, I had a call from Dallas just this morning about that. And I probably got sidetracked with my explanation and didn't do a good job of sharing all the details. But if you're coming from the south, then you could come over the viaduct and turn back west there at Albertsons. And so then you get the football stadium, and most people are familiar with how you park at the football stadium. It's not inside, so there's no specific parking lot, but there are parking lots around and street side parking, kind of in all the downtown and the neighborhood.
Okay.
So it hasn't seemed to be a problem yet. And really, it's the same thing we face at Heritage Park. You just find a spot and walk. So it's an easy walk. And, there shouldn't be a problem with that.
Okay. Just curious. The Steel Band, I mean, the Steel Woods, these guys are like a Leonard Skinner Southern rock and roll type. So this ought to be pretty good. Yeah,
we get a lot of comments. Like last week, somebody put on social media, wish you'd have something other than country. It's kind of like, well, we had bluegrass last week. Yeah. And then this week it's Southern rock. And so I think we have stretched our country as much as we can. I always tell people that's when the crowds show up. So we need to have people show up for these other shows too, just to prove to me that that's a good option for our guest.
Now, here in a few minutes, here in a few minutes, we'll talk about some of the vendors and food options, but I want to kind of get to it here and just kind of talk about the fact we've got week 4, the Steel Woods with opener Colton Gilbreath. And for whenever I was typing this stuff in, it was almost going to be a mistake live where, last week you had the Steel Wind, and now it's like the Steel Woods or something. And so I had to triple check and did I get the right one for the right week? So I kept having to go over and look at all the pictures and stuff that you sent me so that I could bring that stuff up on the screen. And I'm like, okay, so who is it this week? All right, July 3rd. Yes, that's this Friday, the Steel Woods and Colton Gilbreath. So luckily I didn't mess that up. So let's talk about the Steel Woods. And Alan, I know you did some research on these folks.
What's so funny about this? There's a write-up on these guys. Let me see if I can say this without laughing. They said the band sounds like, I don't know, drinking a bottle of bourbon.
Good.
With hallucinations of Greg Allman and Lucinda Williams. I'm not sure what that means.
Nice.
But they're from Nashville, and these guys got a few albums out, and apparently they've got a following. To ask Melanie there. She's excited for the Steel Woods coming to town.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they do. You can tell kind of by the work you have to do to advance the artist, how big they are. And these guys are a big deal. And so we're, it's going to be a full day getting ready for us. And they're excited to be back out on the road. A lot of their dates are getting canceled and have been canceled, as are everybody else's. I think, probably every one of our artists to date, it's been their first show back. So they're really excited to see us. And I can't stress enough that we are really requiring people to be socially distant. You can still have a good time that way. But, the governor's saying watch the situations. And as long as we can maintain that social distance and be safe, we can still have concerts. When that is over, then we're going to have to look at canceling some, and I don't want to go there.
Right.
And so, it's going to be a good show this week. I'm really excited about them. I was watching last night on their, I believe it was their Facebook page, the Steel Woods Music, and Rowdy has been giving guitar lessons on there. And so I'm pretty sure that you would already have to know how to play. It's some techniques in some of their songs. And I think he's given 6 lessons so far. So for you guitarists out there, I would encourage you to look on that and check back on some of those lessons. It's really interesting. I've never seen that before. He's just slowing it down and sharing some of the licks. it's really really interesting.
That's
Now,
pretty cool.
about 30 minutes prior to us going live here, I got a call from their manager, and they were very disappointed. Something came up and they weren't able to join us. The original plan was to have them on here, and we were going to ask them all these questions and stuff, and they just weren't able to make it. Life happens around us. That's when it's live. It's not pre-recorded. So maybe next week we'll have next week's on there. But I also want to encourage all the folks, because I see here my little stats over here. We've got some folks on the Katy Country Facebook, the KLAK Facebook, the Mad Rock Facebook, and so forth watching us right now. So if you want to be a part of this, if you want to ask Donna Dow questions about like what Alan just did, where do you park? Where do you get your food? Where do you set it? Where's the stage going to be? All that stuff. If you want to do that, make a comment on our Facebook page, and we'll see it over here, and we can bring it up on the screen, and then Donna can answer those questions. Because we keep asking the same questions over and over again every single week, but we don't know what people aren't sure about yet. I mean, we talk about the fact we have a new location. We talk about the fact of that you're setting up the stage at a certain location there at Forest Park so that you have more distancing available. But I know a lot of people have questions. Can they bring coolers? Should they bring chairs, or should they bring blankets? Can they bring food, or do they have to buy food? Do they have to get a ticket? Do they not have to get a ticket? A lot of people have never been to one of these before. So if you do have those kinds of questions, please post those up on our Facebook pages, and we can bring those up on screen, and Donna can answer that. So I'll go from there and then let Alan and talk with Donna a little bit about the opener for this week.
So, Donna, speaking of the openers, so tell us all about Colton.
Colton Gilbreath has been on our stage before. He's just a local musician that does a great job and is the perfect opener for these guys. I know that Overdrive Entertainment really works hard to match appropriate artists with complimentary headliners, and so we're looking forward to having him back, and he always does a good job.
Now, the show starts at 7:30. Is that what time the concert starts?
It is. So Colton will come on at 7:30. We try to cut down on the announcements and get him on right away. He'll play for roughly 30 minutes, and then we'll do a stage change out. And how we work that is we try to minimize the time that we're down for that change out. So we have an acoustic act that's followed by the headliners, so they don't really use the same, they may have a microphone or, something like that they're sharing, but otherwise it's a quick change out, and we get the headliner back up there and just roll on with the show. So
gosh, you're probably talking 90 minutes of free music, right? I mean, 30 minutes and you know what I mean.
Yeah, more like 2 hours.
Is it that long? Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's even better.
we have 90 minutes of the headliner, and it is a free show. I'm trying to fit in all those questions Dave just rolled off his tongue in rapid succession. But that's even hard to say. But we have a free show. You enjoy it. You're better off if you bring a lawn chair and or a blanket. Yeah. In my case, at my age, I'm going for the lawn chair. Some people that are young enough may be able to stand up through the show, but 2 hours is pretty long. And we want to, if you stand up, you got to be toward the back because we want everybody to be able to see. So you can get food on site. What we're trying to do is give everybody the information that they need in order to be able to stop by one of our local restaurants downtown and eat on their way to the show. But if they're in a rush, or if they just want to come and eat on the grounds, they can order those to go and bring it and have a picnic at Forest Park. Okay. We also have limited food options there. Each week we'll have the popcorn vendor, Frutitas, which is fresh fruit and smoothies and things like that. They will be there each week, and then Homestead Winery is there each week, and they bring DeVoli's pizza. So this week we're having an addition. It's the Rail Yard, and they are going to bring some shrimp wraps and things like that. So just watch our Denison Live Facebook page for the latest in the food options. And we've also had the U.S. Census Bureau with us the last couple of weeks, and they will be back this week. We want to make sure that everybody can be counted, especially everybody in Denison, Texas.
Wow. So you're talking working hard all week long, and here comes Friday night rolling in here. So you can see a couple good bands, get some local food, and have a good time for free. I mean, as far as, the concert stuff. Yeah, free. So that's good.
You might think it doesn't get better than that, but oh yeah, there's more. So we're going to just make a weekend out of it after the fireworks or after the concert. We're going to have our 4th of July celebration. And so we'll have Katy Country and Mad Rock live remotes on Saturday, July 4th. And then we will go into the concert, which will be Rocky and the Bullwinkles. And then we'll have fireworks. And we want also during the fireworks, we want everybody to enjoy that socially distant. And if that can be, you can enjoy that from many, many locations around downtown. And a little secret, we've been doing this for several years now, but you can listen live on Katy Country to the same music. It's a simulcast. And so you can, just pull your car up, get you a great viewing spot and listen to the music, and you'll be good. If you want to hear Rocky and the Bullwinkles but can't come into the stadium, we're going to get you on Denison Live on Facebook Live. So we're really making it as available as we can and as safe as we can.
And I heard Zach in here actually working on that part of that this morning, working on the music, the simulcast part of that here this morning. So he was all excited about putting that together, and because you give him a very specific amount of time, how long the fireworks show is, and so then he has to find all the little clips and all the music that fits within then. So he like gets in there, he's like a little madman, a little mad scientist with audio, trying to put it all together and make it exciting and stuff. And I know when I lived in Denison, I mean, this was several years ago, but you've been doing this for so long. We lived over on Hull Street in Denison, and so we could sit in our backyard and see the fireworks from the stadium going on. So like you said, anywhere from in that area of Denison, you can be in your backyard sipping on a beer and watching the fireworks.
That's right. It's a good time and it's a good weekend. So Alan, I appreciate the lead in to just let me share how they can just spend their weekend in Denison. And there's probably some local hotels or campgrounds that they could check out while they're here. And then the businesses downtown. I mean, I can't imagine a better 4th of July weekend.
No, I know it's going to be great too. So it's going to be good. So we're good.
Now, Donna, you talked a little while ago about the food options and all that stuff. You'll have some around there. People can order it, have a pizza delivered. One of those questions I know that comes up a lot is about the coolers. Can you bring a cooler? And if so, can you have a beer? Does it have to be soda? Does it have to be tea? I mean, what kind of stuff can people bring in their cooler?
Well, I don't come around and check your cooler, so I think you're safe. But the thing that we want to avoid against is public intox, right. And people are always very respectful. It's a family environment, and so we don't want to get crazy, but we do want you to be able to enjoy yourself. And so, like I said, we don't check your coolers. You can put whatever you want in there, and just be respectful when you're enjoying your beverages, whatever it may be. Now, mine is gonna be Dr. Pepper 100 times out of 100.
That's totally a Texas thing, more so even though than Oklahoma. My wife won't drink anything other than that anyways. Now, I know Dr. Pepper isn't necessarily a sponsor of Music on Main, even though we just gave them an advertisement. Maybe you should hit them up next year to be a sponsor. So let's talk about the 2020 sponsors for Music on Main, because an event like this cannot happen without them.
That's for sure. Honestly, I think as much publicity I give Dr. Pepper, they should call me.
Yeah, you should get an endorsement, yeah. Donna Dow, and I want to see that billboard as I'm heading into Denison that Donna Dow endorses Dr. Pepper. I want to see that. Can you make that happen?
I don't know that they want to go there, but I do. So our other sponsors, we have First United Bank has helped us every year during Music on Main, and they help our fireworks too. And then we have the Denison Arts Council. They even stepped it up even more this year, and are very supportive of our music scene in Denison. We have Overdrive Entertainment, Hilton Garden Inn, Texoma Event Center, and then there's the Alpha Media products that we have Katy Country, Mad Rock, and K Lake, and really appreciative of that. We have our 2 local television stations, and so we're really just really grateful for all the support we get. And we couldn't do it without them, because let me tell you, this year it was kind of tight, and also there were so many different reasons that could have been helping prevent us from having this. But it's just such a tradition, and our citizens, our residents like Music on Main. It's just kind of a respite for them. And so that, and the businesses are really supportive of it and like it. We want to get people back in those restaurants. And so we're able to have it again, as long as we behave and stay away from each other.
So, I mean, this week you got a great band, great opener on all that stuff, but this is only week 4. You've got a lot more weeks coming up. So let's bring that flyer up here. Again, the new location, that's why we have that background picture, Forest Park. There in Denison is where the Music on Main happens this year. So, I mean, you've got the Steelwoods and Colton this week, but then talk about the lineup for the rest of the weeks.
Yeah, so coming up, we have actually July is our biggest month. We have 3 big acts. That's Steelwoods, Confederate Railroad, and Little Texas. Little Texas is on the 31st. So we're really, really excited about those. We have Selfless Lover in there, and then we end the season. We flip-flopped Zane Williams' new band, Hill Country, and so instead of being at the first, we just stuck them on at August 7th, and we'll end the season that way. And Zane is just extremely talented as a songwriter and a musician and performer. And so this new band, Hill Country, is really something that you don't want to miss either. So from now on out, we've got just a tremendous season planned. And, Dave and Alan, if I were y'all, I would be there every week.
Right.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an argument going on behind the scenes about who was going to be able to interview Confederate Railroad and Little Texas and some of the upcoming bands, So we've all sort of had the chance to do it. So we drew straws, and Alan gets to do Confederate Railroad next week. Zach, he was super excited because he gets to do Little Texas down the road, and I'm sure Killian and I will fill out the rest of that schedule to talk to you, and hopefully them, if we can get them on these live broadcasts. So let's again go over, as we wrap up here, just what's happening this week for Music on Main in downtown Denison there at Forest Park. So the Music Alley Happy Hour starts at 6:30 this Friday, and you can watch all of that stuff at Denison Live on Facebook. That's where they start the interviews and the talking and some of that stuff. So you can watch that. Is that correct, Donna?
That is. And so unfortunately, as you said, the artist wasn't able to come on today, but they will be there on our Music Alley Happy Hour. And you'll hear some of the same information, but we have a lot of interviews on Music Alley Happy Hour. We interview the artists, we interview the opener. You never know when a business owner will come up, and we'll get to hear about their business. We try to interview our vendors, and so it's really moving quite along, and that's very organic. as well. So we're gonna get really smooth and polished, but it's just a good conversation.
And then at 7:30, the big concert starts with the opener and then the headliner.
Right. And, we're under the shade trees and it's just a great time. If somebody wants to come out early and put their blanket out, then that's okay with us. Like I said, we're just going to have a great time.
All right. Anything we haven't covered? We talked about July 4th, the festivities that are happening, the simulcast on Katy Country. We talked about Music on Main for this week on Friday. I think we covered it all, didn't we?
Yeah, I can't. It feels like a brain dump. I can't think of anything else.
Alan, anything on your notes we didn't cover?
No, I think we are good to go. I'm pretty excited about this band.
They are very good. It's one of those up and coming bands. And so you're going to wish that you were there if you're not. So just be there.
So just be there.
Absolutely. So again, go online. You want to watch the live videos they do, you go to facebook.com/Denison Live or get more information about Music on Main in general there at DenisonLive.com. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again next Wednesday, and hopefully we'll see you out there in Forest Park on Friday.
See ya.